Welcome back, all. So, today we're going to go ahead and begin constructing a promise. And this promise will be a part of a return statement. So, as you can see, this entire thing here. What we want to do is have an asynchronous method for creating accounts, which will basically inform us if the account has been created or if the creation has failed for whatever reason. Please keep in mind that at this point in time, we are simulating this asynchronous communication, and it is not perfect. And with the coming of the server, this will change to a very good extent. So let's go ahead and begin. Promise is a class, and new is a keyword for the initialization of the class. So new is a keyword for the initialization of a class with the usage of class's constructor. And this constructor will take one argument here. So this is all one single argument, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and pass one argument. This one argument is a bit of a longer function. This function is a lambda function, or the function of an arrow syntax. And this is where a bit of a tricky part comes in. As I've told you before, on the left side of the arrow, you have the parameters of the function, and on the right side of the arrow, you have the body of the function. Now, this lambda function here, it actually receives two other functions as parameters. So you have resolve and reject. So these are the two that it receives as parameters. And then we go on to the right side and we have the body of the function. And the body of the function, we basically just want to see if the account procedure has failed or if it has succeeded. So if the length of the accounts array is greater or equal than the account limit, go ahead and reject. Now the reject itself, let me just go ahead and rewrite this a little bit so it's a little bit clearer to you what is going on here. Okay, let's go about doing it this way. Okay, I'm missing something. Let me just go ahead and type it in. Very frustrating, but there we go. Should be fine and dandy now. Okay, yep. Anyway, the reason why I did this is because reject is not being actually returned. We only need the return statement to terminate this function in case the account creation has failed. So we are calling the reject method here, and it's going to get rejected, and we have the string here, which is basically maximum accounts limit reached. And then you then you type in a return statement to terminate the function at this point in time. If we go down below, this line is nothing new, nothing new, nothing new, nothing new, but the last one is actually resolve. And this is going to confirm that the account creation has been successful. So depending on whether this happens to be reject or resolve, that will determine whether the account process has been successful or not. Now, in case the account's limit has been reached, it's going to get rejected. In case it has not been reached, the account will be created, and its creation will be logged as well, something we've done in the previous lessons. Now, if we go to the app component.ts, and if we dig in here a little bit, and yep, there we go. So the create account function has been modified to an extent. You have this a little bit confusing syntax here. Let me just go ahead and, this is the way you were supposed to write it in general. This is the way it's written, but let me just go ahead and alter it a little bit so that you can understand it a little bit easier. Okay, so this makes no difference in terms of code, whether this is here or down below, but it's just a general coding, just a general way of writing these things, I guess, a standardized way. Anyway, so account service, the create method is called from account service, and we want to create this new account that has been previously processed in the account service by the create. So you have create function, create method here, and it has been called, and then we shall see what the create method will return. Anyway, depending on what it returns, based upon the parameter that has been passed to it, we will perform one of the two. Either this will happen, or we will simply catch the error and this will happen. So again, we have a lambda function here where we have the parameters here, or the parameter in our case, and on the right side you have the body of the function, which is really nothing new. You just have console log and this dot create account and form, and basically the method for resetting the form, all of which we have used before. We have simply placed them here because if it gets resolved, okay, perform this set of actions. If it doesn't, go into the catch block and use another lambda function, which will basically have a parameter ERR, and the create account error will be set to the value of ERR. So the error message will be there. And that's basically it. There's nothing more to it. We haven't done anything like new or strange to the site. We've just changed the way that the logic in the background of the site actually functions. Now there will be one more tutorial in this regard where I will show you this part, how this happens, where it says account is deleted. And then we're gonna be wrapping up this chapter. So I'm gonna go ahead and bid you farewell here. And on this, just another note before I leave, I know that it can seem a little bit complicated in the sense of logic, so feel free to ask as many questions as you choose, and please, we will be more than happy to try to help you out.